Are you ready to embark on a journey? A unique and unforgettable journey. Guide Sable through her rite of passage, also known as gliding, and explore the vast deserts. What's going on, everyone? So, I am currently playing the game Sable. It's a game where you guide Sable through her gliding, and gliding is basically her rite of passage for Sable's people. Now on this journey, you're tasked to earn and collect masks which you will take back to your camp, signifying the end of your journey. But let's not get ahead of ourselves because that doesn't happen till much later in the game. Basically, the end of the game. So I'm only about an hour and a half through this game, and I can only really touch on first impressions and what I think about the game so far. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like the video as well, as it helps out greatly. Anyways, let's go ahead and get back into things. So the first thing I would like to touch on is the game art. The main reason I was drawn into this game to begin with was because of the art style. As you can see from the gameplay, it's very cartoon-like mixed with one of those adult coloring books. And I'm really not sure how to describe it, so that's the best way I can actually describe it, and personally, it's just very eye-catching. The developer Shedworks also mentioned that the game can be explored at your own pace. And this is very true, to be honest, from what I've experienced so far. The game's main story is completed at your own pace. If you wish to explore the vast deserts further and just take in the beautiful environment art, you can. There's really nothing forcing you into this linear story path. If you feel like completing side quests, cool. If you maybe just want to roam around on your glider, why not? Having this freedom, especially in a game about Sable's journey, is exhilarating and fun. It really, in a sense, is true open worldness. So even while you're playing through the story, Jita, Sable's mom, mentions that on your journey you can take whatever path you choose. The choice is really all up to you, further solidifying the freedom in this game. I honestly thought this was just something really cool to point out, and it's probably why I've been enjoying this game so far. And not to get way too crazy into this off-topic rant, but in an open world game, there is a lot of things that can make it feel not so open worldy, if I can put it that way. And the UI elements are one of them. I recently watched this video on why open world games kinda suck. Now, everything that Sable has done so far kind of further solidifies this. The UI isn't cluttered by markers of where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. You almost actually don't have anything on your UI to really hinder your sight of this open world. The compass is hidden through a hotkey that can be brought up at any time and can be put away by just letting go of the hotkey. This was great because I'm not forced into going into this one direction. As mentioned earlier, it's nothing linear. You can explore at your own pace. But anyways, again, I don't want to get into this rant, so I just want to say that Sable did do something amazing. So let's go ahead and get into the glider, or otherwise known as your bike. You're introduced to this piece of machinery very early on, and the bike you start off with is kinda, well, bad. It gets you around though, but something just seems boring about it. I thought I would have to use this thing throughout the game, but then I was tasked with finding parts to build my own glider. While on this task, I instantly forgot how bad the one I'm using was and looked forward to seeing how great the one I'm about to put together will be. The creators definitely put an emphasis on this as they had a soundtrack playing in a new open desert area where you can enjoy this little joyride you had on your next destination. For this little moment in the game, I can't help but give the creators 2 giant thumbs ups for making me feel good and wanting to explore more at this point in the game. Plus, they gave me a purpose for wanting to put together this glider, or they gave me a purpose right after putting together this new glider. It wasn't just a boring task that I had to do because the game told me to do it. There was a reward at the end. Finally, but not so finally, the gameplay. The gameplay is very lighthearted and not very complicated at all. You're given some light puzzles to solve, nothing that'll make you want to punch the screen out of frustration, and I think it was the right choice. If the game had been too difficult with the puzzles, it would have taken away from what the creators wanted, and that would be the exploration aspect of the game. All in all, there's just a ton of good things to say about the game, but that also doesn't mean that I don't have my own personal issues with some things. So let's just go ahead and get into those things about what I don't like about this game. So the one thing I don't like about this game, I think would have to be the camera. The cameras in this game are pretty annoying and makes some easy tasks kind of difficult for no reason. The sensitivity feels a bit weird. It's almost as if the camera movement has an acceleration speed, and it took me quite a bit to get the right amount of sensitivity adjusted to it. Then there's also jumping into certain spots. The camera sometimes tends to move and follow Sable as you're moving around, and when the camera does this, it puts you at a weird angle where you start climbing when you don't mean to. I thought that was just slightly annoying. Nothing terrible, just slightly annoying. But honestly, other than that, I do think the game is great, and at this point in the gameplay, I don't have any further gripes with it. So I guess let's go ahead and get into the final thoughts. The game is wonderful and honestly worthy of its price. Of course, if you also have the Xbox Game Pass, it is available on there right now, so I would highly take advantage of that. But I do have to say, this type of game might not be for everyone, so I don't expect everyone to enjoy it or even want to play it. It is a slower paced game with no combat or action, so if that's the kind of game you're into, this definitely won't be the right game for you. But if you want a game where you can explore around and truly enjoy an open world concept, you should definitely pick this game up and just give it a shot. If you've already played Sable, I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. If you finish the game, let me know what you think and how long it took you to complete it. I'm pretty sure that the gameplay time varies from person to person, so definitely let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the small journey of Sable, and I'll see you all in the next game review.